Your work does not end at your screen. It travels. Every document you push, every model you prompt, every half-finished draft you ship becomes raw material for someone else's decision. You are never working alone. You have never been working alone. The Stoics used a word, sympatheia. My reading of it is simple. Every part of the universe is connected to every other part. What happens in one place moves through the whole. Marcus Aurelius returned to this idea often in his private notes. He wrote as a man running an empire, trying to remind himself that his choices rippled outward. The reminder was not sentimental. It was structural. He believed a person who forgot the whole would make small, selfish, low-quality decisions. The principle has two edges. The first edge is responsibility. If your output touches others, the quality of your output is a moral matter, not just a professional one. Sloppy work is not a private failure. It becomes someone else's input. The second edge is dignity. If you are connected to the whole, then even small, unseen work carries weight. The junior analyst cleaning a spreadsheet is shaping a decision 3 levels up. The engineer writing a clear comment is saving a stranger an hour next year. Sympatheia dissolves the distinction between important work and invisible work. There is only work that flows into the system and work that corrupts it. That is the frame. Now apply it to what has changed. The nature of knowledge work has shifted, and most people have not adjusted their standards. 10 years ago, your document was read by a handful of humans. Maybe your manager, maybe a client, maybe a team channel. The audience was small, human, and forgiving. A typo was a typo. A vague sentence could be clarified in a follow-up meeting. That world is gone. Your document is now training data. Your Slack message is now context for someone's language model. Your meeting transcript is being summarized, embedded, retrieved, and quoted back to people you will never meet. The half-thought you dropped into a shared drive on Tuesday becomes an authoritative-sounding answer on Friday, in a conversation you are not part of. The audience for your work is no longer just human. It is a hybrid system of humans and machines, and the machines do not forgive vagueness. They amplify it. A confused paragraph becomes a confused summary, becomes a confused decision. The error does not stay where you left it. It compounds. Most knowledge workers missed this shift because it happened quietly. There was no memo. The tools got better at hiding your sloppiness, so you stopped noticing it. Autocomplete finished your sentences. Summarizers cleaned up your rambling notes. The feedback loop that used to punish weak thinking, other humans asking you what you meant, got replaced by a machine that pretends to understand. The cost is subtle and severe. Your standards drift downward while your output volume climbs. You produce more, and the more you produce, the more polluted the shared pool becomes. You are now upstream of decisions you cannot see, and you are treating that position casually. Sympatheia, applied here, is blunt. If your work enters a system that other minds and other models draw from, then the quality of your work is not your private business. Every unclear sentence you ship is a small tax on someone else's attention. Every unchecked AI-generated paragraph you forward is a small bet against the accuracy of the whole. The operators who understand this are quietly separating themselves. They write fewer things, and each thing is denser. They label what is verified and what is a draft. They treat their outputs as though a stranger will act on them because a stranger will. Often the stranger is a model, acting on behalf of a human they will never meet. This is not about perfectionism. It is about recognizing that you are a node in a network that now amplifies whatever you put in. Garbage in, garbage out was always true. What is new is the speed and reach of the out. Last week, I pushed a poorly formatted dataset to the shared analytics folder, and 2 days later, I watched our content team spend an hour troubleshooting why their monthly report script broke. They didn't know the format change came from me. I realized I'd been thinking of that upload as a small, isolated task instead of a piece in their workflow. One practice. Do it tomorrow. Keep a plain text file on your desktop called Outbound. At the end of your workday, between 4:30 and 5 p.m., open it. List every document, message, or artifact you release today that another person or system will read. Not drafts, only what left your hands. For each item, write one line answering a single question. Would I be comfortable if this were quoted back to me, out of context, in 6 months? Yes or no? That is the decision rule. If the answer is no, you do one of two things. You revise it now, or you send a short follow-up message flagging what was uncertain. You do not leave it ambiguous in the shared record. The file is not for review. Nobody else sees it. Its purpose is to force you, once a day, to look at your output as a stranger would. 15 minutes. One file. One question per item. Most days the list will be short. That is the second lesson of the practice. This is the disciplined operator, where old philosophy meets the work you actually do.